back to the High School Sports Show. We've had an awesome 2 hours so far. So for everyone who is listening, please do not forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at both HS Sports 610 AM.
Thank you very much, Joe Richards. And we are back at McGurk's for the final segment of tonight's show. And our topic tonight, Rich Engels, along with Joe DeLuca, is careers. Do you need college? Do you not need college? And when do you make those decisions, and how do you look at those decisions? Been interesting, hasn't it?
It's been real interesting to see the thought process of the student athletes that have been on the show tonight. It's been great.
And we've had student athletes from 5 different schools until now. Now, we bring our 6th on. And Molly Craig from Council Rock North, you've been very patient tonight, and I thank you for that.
No problem.
What's been going? You've heard everyone talk about a lot of different things tonight. Careers, whether you need to go to college. What's your perspective on this whole discussion?
I personally don't think college is necessary. I think if you have goals, you can strive for them and reach them. So, college is for you, go for it, but if not, then do your thing. And
what is your path right now?
Right now, I'm committed to Penn State and Abington for criminal justice.
Criminal justice. And what sport are you playing? Track. So, you've really taken it all into consideration, and has being a student athlete helped you in your mission and your look forward?
It definitely has. I definitely like the team aspect of everything, and it's definitely helped me grow as a person.
Yeah. Well, the other 3 gentlemen here, I'm going to bring them in real quick, Joe.
Yeah.
Brian Fink, Joe Perpilia, and Chris Geske. I all appreciate what they've heard from you. And Joe, I'm going to give you the first word.
Right.
She said point blank, do what is right for you. That's your words, too.
Absolutely. I mean, I said it earlier in an earlier segment that, follow what you love. If you follow what you love, you'll be successful. In my world, it's construction. I mean, that's the guys that Brian can attest to this. You find something that you feel you're going to be great at, and you go with it. And so I couldn't agree more.
Molly, you made a statement there. It was the first one of the night that I've heard anybody say this, that college wasn't necessary. Did you mean to say that, or
No, I meant that.
You meant that?
I truly do not think it's necessary to do what you want in life.
Well,
I don't know. Well, okay, Rich.
No, I think she's right. I mean, it's a personal thing. Brian, you're a great example of that.
Yeah, correct. Do what your heart tells you to do, period. And if you don't know what you want to do, it's okay to not rush into what major society is telling you to do and go to college. It might not be the right choice. It may be. But if you're not certain, take that gap year or go investigate other opportunities.
And this whole conversation's gone full circle, and you're now the onus of all this. It's interesting, isn't it? Can you imagine what it would have been like if you'd been on this set an hour and a half ago at the front end? Would you have enjoyed that more, maybe?
Probably, yes.
Chris, can I just ask you a quick question? Something I don't think we expounded on tonight at all was the fact that now, like back in the day, Brian, you say when you were looking for literally picked up the newspaper and you look for a job and you call them. Nowadays, with the internet, you have Monster, you have this, that, and everything, all these websites that other employers call you. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it gives great opportunity for anyone that's job searching to go out there and do their research on the business, and they can find out more about the company and, if they're reputable, and there's all kinds of reviews of, these guys treat us well or we're not treated well here, and it just gives the employee that's looking for the jobs the opportunities. And I think Molly's very wise behind her years as far as the fact that it is your own path you can choose, and whatever makes you happy, you can have success. And I think we've seen that. We've heard from a lot of different people on their types of paths, and you can find happiness a lot of ways. So I think the fact that she knows that in high school is definitely something I don't think I knew at 18. So very impressive.
Molly, do most of your friends kind of think the same way you do? Is it a cultural thing within the people you hang with and so forth?
No, most people don't see as I do.
Really?
Yeah, most of my friends are, dead set on going to college, doing everything, get it all right, and then look for a job after. But I personally don't think that if you know what you want to do, then start off and do it.
Yeah. Joe Perpilia, that's really what you've been saying all along, too, haven't you?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, I told my story, and we've heard Brian's story. I mean, I kind of know now, being 43, that looking back, working with my hands was probably the more rewarding thing. But counselors, my parents, my father, go to college, go to Temple, right? I had a great time at Temple. But now being at this age, I go, you know what? What would have happened if I worked with my hands? Maybe it might have been more rewarding. I don't know. But to sum that up, do what you love. If you, like you said, if you can figure out what you want to do and you know what's right in your heart, go with it.
All right, Molly, final word from you on this whole concept, because I think we touched on something tonight that high school 17, 18-year-olds probably don't talk about much, do you?
Yeah, definitely not.
Unusual conversation?
Yeah.
And when you drive home tonight, will you be kind of thinking about it, or maybe talking to somebody about it, or are you going to bury this one?
No, I'll definitely go home and tell my parents, tell my family.
All right. Well, the conversation has been about colleges and whether or not you need to go to get your career going. Molly, Craig, thank you very much for being on the air for and waiting so long. Perspective is what we hope we gave you.
Thank you.
All right. And sitting to my right, Chris Geske from Huddle Up Consulting. Chris, thanks for coming on tonight. I know it was an interesting night for you, a different perspective on things.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And it's always great to get out and talk to different people and see the paths and just learn about all the opportunities that are out there.
All right. Joe Perpilia, thank you for coming with us tonight.
Appreciate it, Rich. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Brian Fink, great job tonight. Thank you.
And thank you.
All right, Joe Kraus, busy night, huh?
Busy night, great show, and great live broadcast here from McGurk's. We thank McGurk's for hosting us here on a Monday night of the high school sports show. I give you 30 seconds, Joe DeLuca, just to put a recap on the night, and then, Rich, I'll come to you before we say goodnight.
All right, sir.
I'm glad we ended the night with Molly because it gave a totally different perspective. Molly's clearly not one to just follow the herd. She is one of the, probably speaks for a lot of students out there who feel the same way. I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do it, and I'm going to follow my heart. So that's a good way to go about this. But I also like the fact that we touched on the fact that expectations from a family could be dangerous.
And bad advice and good advice. No one from the other. Diversity. It isn't only about race and religion. There's diverse workplaces, which a lot of different people. A gap year. That's something I hadn't thought about myself. It's a great idea. Follow your heart. Everyone here has said that. If you don't follow your heart, you won't be happy. And if you're not happy, you won't be successful. And Joe touched on expectations. And, a lot to think about tonight. And I really enjoyed this. 6 different schools represented tonight, Joe Kraus. That might be a record.
All presented by McGee Rehabilitation. We thank everybody for listening and tuning in to the live broadcast. On behalf of our engineer, Nick Steptoe, Ryan Lennox, our producer back in the studio, Jillian Richards, who made it out to McGurk's tonight, all of our guests who were here tonight, and of course, on behalf of Joe DeLuca and Rich Engels. I'm Joe Kraus. We'll see you next time.